Ellie's nap, but I just thought I'd bring you a little bit of the joy that she brings to me. And I've got some of her food here. She likes mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A, and I have some of the other little toys that she likes to play with, but she's ready to go down for a nap. So, but I thought it'd be fun to have her join us with our video. Today, we are working on the Peace and Calm quilt block for the Live Well, Live Strong quilt. So, this is the quilt block, huh, Ellie? You want to hold this one? You want to hold that and show the ladies? Yes. Yeah, you hold this one. We got lots of these, huh? There's one right there. Here's another one right here. Do you want to hold it like this? So it's a Peace and Calm quilt block. Hello, Liz. Hi. Liz is saying hi to you, Ellie. Oh, you're going to take that quilt block. But we made that one this last week on Wednesday. Hi, Dolores, you guys. So this is what we're going to be working on today, is the small foundation paper piecing Peace and Calm quilt block for the Live Well, Live Strong quilt. And I already have some of this pre-assembled because I knew I was going to do this video with Ellie and I wanted to set it up for success. So, hey, Ellie, how's it going? Okay, should we each hold one of these, or you want this as a hat? What would you like? Yeah, you like to be with Grandma. Okay, so I'm going to give her some of, I like to feed her before I lay her down for her nap. So I'm going to give her just a little bit of her mac and cheese right here. And from Chick-fil-A because, you know, oh, she doesn't want the fork. Okay, I'll take the fork. Ellie is growing like a weed. I agree, you guys. And I think she brings a lot of peace and calm to my life and a lot of brightness and light and things like that. So, you know, I hate to have you, well, you won't watch a toddler really eat the whole time because I'll switch the camera view. So anyways, let's get started on our quilt block today. I have some really fun things to share with you of how I used peace and calm in my life this last week. So, so let's go ahead and get started with this quilt block. Now, we are doing the foundation paper piecing just real fast for those. Hi, Amanda! It's so good to see you. It is rainy today, huh? Wow! Wow, we have such mild weather here in Utah, and when I picked her up, I just got like a little sweatshirt jacket for her, and that's all we really need here right now in Utah. Hello, Belle from Tennessee. It's so good to see you guys. Okay, we are working on the Live Well, Live Strong quilt, right, Ellie? We're working on this pattern. And the quilt is kind of behind her. That's the standard 60 by 60 version. We have the bed runner, which I've got a photograph for you guys so you guys can see how gorgeous it is. And then we have the version that goes king, queen, full, and everything else. But today we are working on the teeny tiny version that is a foundation paper piece small quilt block. So you can see all the paper in a quilt. All the paper behind this, I keep the paper in as I'm sewing the pieces together. Okay, we got to put my phone on no ringing. So I've already taken all the important phone calls today. So we are working on the Calm quilt block. The Live Well, Live Strong quilt has 26 quilt blocks about health and wellness for women. It's a great time to be working on this quilt, I think, right now during a pandemic. For my own self, as I've sewn this quilt over and over, and we've done this so long, I just reflect, and more each one of these different values and these different aspects of health and wellness I'm grasping onto even more during a pandemic. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip my camera so that you guys can see what my table is like and my working space. So here we are right here. Let's see here. I think that'll work out good. Okay. I have this printed off for you guys. The Live Well, Live Strong, I printed it onto newsprint paper through my regular printing machine, and I just done black and white. So the first thing I always do is I come take my sample or the picture I'm working with or whatever fabrics I'm working with, and I write down what colors, hello little girl, I write down what colors of fabric I'm using here. So here I'm using denim blue, and then I'm using yellow, and yellow. So we do this each time we go ahead and pull out our foundation paper piecing, and then I just write down what color fabrics I'm going to be using with each piece. Okay, let's go ahead and use paper scissors to trim this down just a little bit more. But this is the Calm quilt block, which is about having peace and calm in your life and trying to maintain that. I have already stitched together this side of the quilt block. You can see that right there. So we're going to go through this piece, and I'm going to show you how I started this center piece right here. Okay, so let's go. Well, actually, let's finish this part. All right, so here is, it comes in section A, B, and C. Okay, it comes in 3 different sections for the Calm Piece quilt block, which this is a pretty easy quilt block. So this is section A, this is section C. We have we're going to do yellow and then this blue shade in the middle. Okay, so you can see that blue shade right there. So that's what we're doing, and we're doing the center strip right here. So I placed on the back of the paper the yellow solid, and I put the fabrics right sides together with this other blue aquamarine shade solid. And there's a right and a wrong side. So these 2 fabrics are right sides together on the back of the paper. I stitched on that little stitch line, and I am now going to press this open. So you can see this side right here. I'm going to press open this fabric and give it a nice little press right there. So you can see what that looks like. And then I'm going to set this aside. And now I'm going to use my small rotary blade just because it's easier for me, and my little 1.5 inch ruler. And I'm going to flip this over again. My next stitching line is C1 and C2 to C3. Hello, little bean. Do you want my tape? What would you like from my little thing? Okay, so now I'm going to fold back this paper because that's my next stitching line is between this blue and the yellow. So let's go ahead and fold back on that stitching line where that is. I'm going to trim off this excess fabric right here. Okay, so we're going to trim it off with about 1/4 inch seam right along there. I'm going to open this back up so you can see what that looks like. I'm now going to take another piece of this yellow. So what I did is I'm using a piece of yellow that kind of goes the length of that fabric of my little piece, and I'm just going to lay this up right sides together. So that's the front side of this is the back side. The back side is to the back of the paper. So right sides together, lay these out, and now I'm going to, so you can see how that's laying. This would be a little more ideal if it was just a skinny piece of fabric, but I figured why not use up that piece. I'm going to stitch right here on the stitching line. Ellie does not need a spoon. Is she eating it? Let me see how she's eating it. Oh, she's eating a little bit of the mac and cheese. Let me see if she wants some of the grilled chicken now. That is so funny. Yeah, she was like, hey, I don't need both utensils over here. Okay, so I stitched that on. I'm going to now press this again open so it's got a nice pressed open look. Let's go ahead and lay that down. And now I'm going to actually go ahead and trim this so it's ready to be stitched to this other piece I've stitched together. So let's go ahead and trim this. And I go right along the outside of that little, the black solid line that is on the outside of this paper piecing pattern right here. The dashed lines are to stitch on. The black lines are to cut on. So let's go ahead and I feel like something didn't cut all the way through right there. I'm going to come over to this other side here, and let's go ahead and trim that. There it goes. Maybe I should give Ellie some. I'll have to flip some of my little scraps her way. See what she thinks. Here, Ellie, do you want that? She's playing with the Scotch tape. Okay, so you can see that's right there. I'm going to give this one more nice little press, and now I'm going to piece together this piece I've already done. And I'm going to sew that one in just a minute, but I'm going to put my pieces right sides together. These are both foundation paper pieced, and I'm going to match my seams in the center. And I can clearly see where those seams are, and I know that I need to sew on that 1/4 inch seam right there. Hello, Mary. It's so good to see you guys. It's so good to see you guys. Let me give you a front shot of Ellie right now. Look, she's playing with the Scotch tape. She's got it everywhere. But you know what? It's entertaining her, isn't it? Okay, let's go ahead and stick a pin in this. And I am now going to just stitch. So you can see I put a little pin in there. I'm going to put this through my sewing machine. I recommend using these little pins, but also pin it across your way because it is awkward. Oh, what happened, Ellie? What happened? Are you playing with the tape? And what's most important is that my seams are matching in the center section there. So let's go ahead and put this through the sewing machine. And I feel like my fabric and the paper are just shifting slightly. So I'm going to repin that just ever a little bit. Okay, using the newsprint, huh, Ellie? You got the tape? Sometimes we need tape here if I tear the newsprint as I'm stitching these little blocks together. Oh, got a little stuck there. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and bring this back up to the camera so you can see I went ahead and did my little stitching line right along that 1/4 inch seam. Take out my pins and let's see on live video if these opened. I'm going to show you guys first if they matched. Oh, they did. It was a good match. All right, let's go ahead and go back to this. Oh, it doesn't look like she needs a camera, like a spoon. She's going for it, man. Ellie, do you want some of your little French fries? Where'd they go? Or your, well, oh, here's your chicken. Do you want some of the chicken too? There's chicken for you. Okay, little girl. Okay, so now, normally I don't eat too much. Let's go ahead and do this next little section. I'm going to go over here and let's put our fabrics together. So let's go ahead and build this one section and we will have this block stitched. Now, hello, I love the colors of this quilt block too. I really wanted it to come off as a beautiful, kind of peaceful color. And I wanted this to be designed like they were sails that were flying in the wind that were kind of taut and ready to be put there. I'm starting at A1 on this quilt block right here. I'm putting this diagonal along here. Oh, did you get it all? Thank you, Ellie. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. And now we're going to match up. So remember, I like to use like little strips with my fabric. But when you're going at an angle like this, you do need a wider length to fit across the angle. So we have yellow fabric that we're using and then the denim blue. So this is a denim blue fabric solid. I'm going to get those extra threads out of there. I got a thread right there that I don't need. There we go. Let's go that way. Okay, so yellow is on the back of the paper because that's where we're going to first do our stitching line. Denim blue is the next color. So I'm going to go ahead and line these up so they're matching. I'm going to put this right on top of that. I can stick a pin in this just to keep it nice and even so that as I'm stitching on it, it doesn't slip. Let's go ahead and stitch on that dashed line right across and build out our foundation paper piece last section for the calm quilt block. Now, I have to tell you, I had something kind of crazy happen to me out on Wednesday, and it really kind of took me aback, and I had to make some really hard decisions. And okay, so right there I've got this one pressed and nice. We're gonna go ahead and open this up, but I was really a nervous wreck with these difficult decisions that I had to make, and I wasn't feeling very peaceful. I was feeling quite nervous. I didn't have Corey that I could talk to. I didn't feel comfortable really talking to anybody about this difficult choice I had to make. Corey was in a mediation. He's an attorney for family law. We're going to do our next section, which is yellow right here. So I had really no one that I could talk to. But boy, I stayed calm and steady. We're going to fold this back and kind of bring that back over here. I'm tearing through a little bit of our stitches right there. You can see I folded that back on that stitching line. Let's go ahead and clean off our excess fabric. But I held steady. Here's some fabric for you, Ellie. I held steady and strong. I waited for Corey to come home. He did not finish his work. I'm putting these right sides together behind the fabric. You can see I've got my 1/4 inch edge there. Let's do another stitch on this. Corey did not get home till almost 8 o'clock at night. He was about an hour away doing a mediation up like an hour away. So when he finally got home, I thought, I told him what it was happening. We couldn't talk in depth about things. But I said to him, you know what, it's so late, Corey, I'm nervous to even talk about this late at night because I want to have a good night's sleep. So we didn't talk much about what I was kind of fretting over. And then I waited the next day. Here, Ellie, do you want some more fabric? Let's see here. So I waited the next day and we talked about it more and we had some good decisions making. But I tried not to overreact. And I'll share with you guys kind of what I had to make some decisions about later. But I'm going to go ahead and just lay this on here. Let's do it with this straight side. Our last piece of denim blue on this quilt block. Let's stitch that straight across. And we'll just add one more shade of yellow. Are you all done? Are you all done with that mac and cheese? Oh boy. Okay, let's give you, how about this? You want me to take the rest of that? Let's put it in here. Can you put this in here? Thank you, little girl. Okay, do you want to play with the pin cushion right there? So anyways, but it ended up the next day, I was able to make my decisions, but I stayed calm and steady in a time of like uncertainty and about what I should do, and I just was feeling overwhelmed. And you know what? It all worked out. And by staying calm and steady, I was able to keep that frame of reference that I needed to make the good decisions that I needed to make, and to have confidence in having faith in other people that were helping us in this situation, that they were really making the best decisions possible. So you guys, things can get a little scary and a little crazy, but we just have to stay calm and steady as we're experiencing things, and try to keep our minds centered on what is really important and what the priorities are. Okay, once again, I'm using a wider piece of fabric to get that stitch going on the diagonal. So you guys, try to continue to have that calm and steadiness in your lives. It will help you through troubling times and through challenging times. And we are definitely having those with COVID. I've had a dear extended family member pass away from COVID very unexpectedly. And it's kind of the first death that's happened in our family. And I have to say, we were really rattled by it. And it was just very sorrowful. And I don't know about you guys, but yes, I know, Liz, those puppies, I put them outside when Ellie is eating, because Ellie likes to feed them. Okay, let's go ahead and stitch this together. We're going to stitch this one section to this section right here. I'm going to match up these seams. So what I'm saying is keep that calm and steadiness. So no matter what we're going through, let's match that up. And then in the death of that person, it's actually someone that is from an extended family member, but someone that had a big impact on my life. But I was able to be calm and steady for other people that are a bit more impacted by that sweet passing, and help them remember just the beautiful things that that person's life has been. So let's go ahead and stitch right across here, and then give that calm and steady feeling and kind of give that to them. So sometimes there's times when we can't see the light, but we need to hold steady and search for that light. And then we need to have the courage to become the light that we need sometimes, and the light for others. So you guys just stay in there, and let's go ahead and pull this apart and see how I match that seam. Oh, did you get a pen? Can I use that one? Thank you. Okay, I'll use that one. I'll put it in the quilt block right here. Let's put it right there. Okay, so I would press this open using a dry iron, no starch or anything else. And you can see how precise and exact those quilt blocks are. And these are ready to be sewn into the foundation paper piece small quilt block. So remember, strong and steady, you guys. Stay strong and steady, and have that peace and that calmness about, even though when there are uncertain times. She put it in her mouth. Oh dear, Ellie, you're so cute. Well, there we go, you guys. I am going to go lay her down for a nap. This is, continue with your goals of trying to have the feeling of calmness and peace. Sometimes when we don't always feel so calm and as peaceful. So stay strong, you guys. Be well. These are uncertain times, and just be that strength that you can be for yourself and for others. And I love you guys tons. I'll be back on Monday, and we will be working on, let me go ahead and show you. We're going to be working on the Choices quilt block right here. So our next quilt block will be these Choices quilt block. So anyway, so let's go ahead and we'll all try to make great choices next week. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go lay down Ellie for her nap, and we'll go from there. Thanks for sharing the afternoon with me. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.